There's yet another VS Code fork with AI, but this time it's brought to you by ByteDance, the creators of TikTok. I hope it doesn't get banned. It actually has some cool features that you might not expect, and they're not even charging for Claude Sonnet usage. Yeah. Let's take a look at Trae AI. Here we go. Welcome to Trae. I've literally just installed this. I think it's only available for macOS at the moment. Let's go ahead and get started and go through the setup. Let's choose our theme. I'm going to leave that as dark. We can import our configuration from both VS Code and Cursor, which is quite funny to see in there. I'm going to go ahead and skip so it's fresh. We can add the Trae command like you can with Cursor and VS Code. I'm going to skip that as well. And we're ready to go. It looks like we do have to log in to access the AI features. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Worth showing you the login options. We can log in with GitHub and Google like you'd expect, and then you can also create an account as we're signing up for Trae AI. I'm just going to go ahead and use GitHub for now. And once we're logged in, welcome to Trae AI. Now, the first thing that actually stood out to me when I looked at this is they've added a bit of polish on top of just the normal VS Code UI, which is a little bit different from some of the other VS Code forks. They leave it feeling very stock VS Code. Obviously, you can tell under the hood it is still VS Code. We've got the normal pane over here with the normal options of the extension store. All of these are VS Code extensions. We've got the debug, web view, source control. Pretty much everything's the same. It just has a nice modern look and feel. Now, I did see some people on Hacker News comparing this to JetBrains Fleet. Haven't used it personally, but looking at the website, it does look a little bit similar. I can't speak for where they got their inspiration from. I can just say it looks quite nice. Now, obviously, when we have an AI IDE, the thing we care about most is this pane over here with the chat and the builder, which is currently in beta. Builder is going to be the one that has the agents in it, similar to what we get with Cursor and Windsurf. So I went ahead and opened up the editor in a new folder, Trae Demo, so we can go ahead and test out the builder mode. I've also given it a prompt to create me a Next.js application using Tailwind, and it should create a landing page with a hero section to advertise my new site, y.com, which is going to compete with Twitter. You can also choose your models down here, and we have access to two at the moment. We have Claude 3.5 Sonnet and GPT-4o. As I mentioned in the intro, these are both free at the moment. I assume pricing is coming, otherwise I'd be extremely concerned at how they're paying for all of this with my data, as Claude can be quite expensive. So I'm going to remain optimistic that this is a promotional deal. Let's go ahead and test this out then. As you can see, it's going to do that normal thing that we expect now. So the AI is thinking using those agents there, and it tells me it needs to help me create a Next.js application. It's going to think about what that next step will be, and it seems the next step is going to be to run that command to create the next app, and we can click run down here. Now, I like that it pops it out into the terminal straight away. That was one of my negatives with Windsurf when I first used it. It sort of stayed in that builder window and it was hard to get it out in the actual terminal. I think they have changed that since, and I know Cursor also has the pop-out option now. So it's nice to see this has it straight away. Just going to hit enter on that, and hopefully once this installs, the AI will pick that up. And there we go. Once that command is completed, it's moving on to its next step. I assume its next step is going to be create my page.tsx. If we go ahead and open that up in page.tsx here, we should be able to see it might be making changes here. So there we go. It's going to create that hero section in page.tsx. Now, one thing that I did see is it doesn't seem to have streaming in the agent mode here. You can see it's currently changing my page.tsx, but it's not showing it coming in line by line as it's streamed in like you might get with Cursor. Seems we have to wait for it to fully complete, then we can go ahead and accept the changes here. And that's going to work similar to how all the other ones do. We just click accept all down here, and hopefully we should see the new site is up and running. So it seems like it's added a load of things in here. It's got welcome to y.com. So we go ahead and run this, we'll see what it created. Now, I just ran the npm run dev command, and one thing I noticed, it actually had a prompt to open up the web view, which is nice. So if you click open web view here, it actually just opens it up in this nice browser window within the editor for you. Obviously, this doesn't look great at the moment as I'm on quite a small screen when I record these, so it looks good on mobile, so it's quite compact. So I'll go ahead and open this up in a browser instead. Just wanted to point that out as it's quite a nice feature to have out of the box. This is the site it created. Now you can see color scheme is hurting my eyes a little bit, but that's because I had a very vague prompt. I didn't really tell it what to do, just told it something generic to add in a hero section there. And I'd say it's done a pretty good job based on that prompt that I gave it. What I want to test out now though is how it reacts to adding in screenshots. In builder mode then, I've given it a screenshot of our Twitter page, and I'm just going to ask it to create a new page at /demo, and we'll use mock data for now. So obviously I don't want to link this up to a backend that I don't have yet. I'm going to hit enter and just see how this does. There we go, it's finished up, and you can see it's created that new demo route for me. And when we go in here, it seems that it's created a website with some fake data there. So I'm going to accept all, and let's see what it did. There we go, you can see it's made a very generic Twitter clone. It doesn't look too much like my screenshot, but I will admit I gave it quite a hard screenshot to actually copy from. It was very busy, I probably should have split that up in 2 sections, and I also left the prompt as very generic. I could have included a lot more information in there. I imagine what's happened here is it has a lot of Twitter clones in its dataset. A lot of people have made these, and it's essentially just creating a very generic clone. Obviously, with all AI, your results are going to differ based on what you're doing, so I'd say just try it out for yourself. Back in the editor then, the final few things I want to point out about builder mode is obviously we can add in our context here, whether that's a few lines of code, a whole file, or a folder. And the thing that I find different from Cursor, that I think Cursor does a bit better at the moment, is we can't go back and reapply any of those changes. In Cursor, you can scroll up, see what it added, and then click reapply, say if you've changed your code later, but you want to roll it back. With this, you don't have that option. Once you've accepted all of it, it doesn't seem like you can go back. You can just click review. But obviously, if you change the code, that button isn't going to work. Besides that then, we get the other features that we'd expect from an AI IDE. You have the chat if you just want to talk to your code instead of it making changes. And then you can also go ahead and use the inline AI editor as well. In this, it's actually Command I, not Command K. As you can see, you're going to get that inline AI prompt. And we can add a prompt in here to add in a draft Boolean for the data and hit enter. And you can see it's going to say the AI is thinking, and then it should show us making those changes there. Now, it seems that it works with streaming in here. As you can see, it's going line by line. Now, I don't actually like this different view of it being side by side. I prefer the way Cursor does it by stacking it, but that might be my bias because I'm on quite a small screen size here, so it's a little bit cramped when I look at this information, but we can go ahead and do the same thing and accept all here. The other feature you'd of course expect is that AI tab completion. So if we go ahead and create a filter for our posts here and hit equals, we should see that the AI goes ahead and completes that code for us. There we go. This is our website then, Trae AI, where you can go ahead and download this for Mac OS now. As you can see, ship faster with Trae. We have a demo video, and then it says collaboration, just saying that we need to balance human and AI capabilities. I was interested in this line here that says each task is handled by the most suitable agent. One thing that I really want is an AI that essentially picks the AI for you. I think it's going to get very complex in the future as all of these new models come out to actually rely on the developer to know which one's best for each circumstance. It'd be nice if there was something that takes that work away from you and just automatically picks the correct one based on what it thinks is best. Continuing down though, we have the features that I've already showed you. So we have the builder mode, we have the multimodality, so we can upload images, and then it can also use your context as well, and then also that inline smart completion autocomplete. I'm interested to know if you would try this, so let me know in the comments below. I personally like what they're doing, but none of these features are compelling enough to switch from Cursor. And I also think there's going to be a lot of concerns about the parent company, especially considering TikTok is currently being banned in the USA. It is very cool to see the AI competition heat up though, with DeepSeek recently releasing their models that compete with OpenAI. I was surprised it wasn't actually an option within this editor as well. Check out our videos on those if you want. Subscribe for more, and as always, see you in the next one.